And the way Wemby is coming up, it seems like already the NBA game is clicking for him. And at some point when it slows down for him, he is going to dominate. You guys check out the warning that he sent everyone in the league after losing the gold medal game in the Olympics.
This tournament, nobody's going to take that from me. You know, it's I'm learning, and you know, it's I'm worried for the opponents in a couple years.
Yeah, NBA and FIBA.
Everywhere.
Damn, that man said everywhere. See, Wemby, he's coming for that Michael Jordan portfolio. And that Mamba mentality really exists in him. That's the part that a lot of fans have not yet woken up to. He's not one of these first overall picks that's just happy averaging, 20 plus points a game and being the leader of their team and just being the figurehead, getting likes on social media. He's not that. He wants all the awards, all the championships. He's really gunning for that. And this is another thing that the Spurs have to juggle, the expectations of Wemby when it comes to winning. Just Luka's portfolio under the age of 25 is exceptional. The Western Conference Finals appearance, the NBA Finals appearance, consistent long battles in the playoffs against the Clippers, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And the Spurs are still kind of used to building from a mom and pop standpoint. They take it slow. They evaluate things. They don't make any immediate free agency splashes. We've never really seen it from this franchise. Even their approach this summer was very steady and slow. In a way, it almost seems like Chris Paul happened to fall on their lap. And they also acquired multiple first-round draft picks for Rob Dillingham. They got a 2031 first-round swap from Sacramento and a 2030 first-round swap from Minnesota, which sounds about right, with these teams not necessarily being at their peak by that time frame. So they have plenty of draft assets and salary cap to make big moves. And we'll see how the mom and pop franchise of the San Antonio Spurs begin to make moves in this new NBA era. Now the San Antonio Spurs are at an interesting point in their rebuild. We've seen them add NBA veterans like Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul to kind of help mold their younger players, especially their fourth overall selection in Stephen Castle, a 6'6" guard who could possibly be a really strong defender, has great penetration and good defensive instincts off a rip. But it's been very unusual for the San Antonio Spurs to be missing the playoffs for this long and also having multiple seasons where they're sort of tanking. Again, with the upcoming 2025 draft just being so deep, are they willing to do it one more time? Even with the NBA changing the lottery odds, it's still highly probable that they will land someone good, even if they fall into the top 5 to 6 picks. NBA insider Justin Tremaine gave great insight to this. You guys check it out, and every once in a while, I'll check in.
But also, how many years are they going to tank as well? Because it seems like now it's 2 straight years of tanking, right? Already. Like they tanked for Wembanyama. They tanked this past year because there's no other way to look at it, Eddie, when you're playing a guy like Jeremy Sohan as your point guard. You're tanking if you're doing that, okay? You're not trying to win games. So that's 2 years in a row where they're tanking. They're really going to tank a third consecutive year. When I think they've missed the postseason 4 consecutive years, right? Now, Popovich's going to want to miss the postseason 5 consecutive years. That's got to be a little bit of a hit on his resume if it's 5 consecutive years without a postseason appearance. But again, like why is Oklahoma City so good right now, right? They're the best team in the West, but what did they do? Like, they didn't have a guy as good as Wembanyama, but they had an MVP candidate, Eddie, hiding in clear sight in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What did they do with him every year? They shut him down because they didn't want to win. So, like, they purposely retarded his growth in order to make sure that they lost games and were able to acquire other talent.
Now, they did that before the league changed up the lottery odds. And ever since, OKC really hasn't had the same luck. So the Spurs turning around today and trying to do the same thing, it might not bear good fruit.
That's why they're so good, and I guess that's the difficult spot that San Antonio is in, is if they allow Wembanyama to play and don't sit him like Oklahoma City sat Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they're going to win too many games now, but then they might kind of be stuck in the middle because they're not going to be able to add the draft picks that Oklahoma City was, where, all right, not only do we have Shai, now we can add a guy like Chet, now we can add, other pieces through the draft, Josh Giddey at one point, even though it didn't turn out. So that's the difficult part here for San Antonio.
Now, one thing we could add to this is Zach Collins returning and also Devin Vessel with that right foot. The Spurs will return with a deeper team this time around, but just like Justin said, they don't want to fall in the middle of the pack. That is the worst position to be in.